Hola and welcome to Barcelona. After weeks of intense racing, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Ineos Britannia are about to go head-to-head in the Louis Vuitton Cup final. As the saying goes, to win the old mug, you first have to win the Louis Vuitton Cup. 13 races have been scheduled. The first to 7 will become our official challenger. If you didn't already know, these two teams have history. 4 years ago, the Italians and Brits were in the exact same position. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli sailed into the record books and claimed victory. Can they do it again, or will Ineos Britannia exact revenge? Rivalry is about to be revisited. Let's head to the start box for match 1. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has port entry. Ineos Britannia is on starboard.
Hang high, then driving down around. Okay. Can we get to bow right? Yep. Okay, working away. 2, 1, working away.
Body easers. Taking main in, Alan.
Repeat as much as you can.
One other turn down for us here.
No problem.
Pushing.
8 to keep.
It's very easy to lose the rudder in these windy conditions when you've got ease sails.
Ineos coming in with pace.
Nice and smooth, guys.
Feeling it.
Racing.
Okay, 2, 1, go board.
Give us one. Full spoon here.
Don't go up, boys.
Look it up here. There you go, boys.
Ainsley chasing hard.
Hey, trying, I need some trap here, boys.
The race to face the defender in the match on October 12 begins right now. Let's go racing, race 1 and the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Beautiful job by the Italian team to force the British team to be late there.
Nice thanks, boys.
Luna Rossa were dominant there. They got their time on distance perfect. I thought the way they just used the boundary at low speed was really the key, and it just set them up that Ineos were always pushing from behind, but they were pushing always a bit late. So first blood to the Italians.
They're going to struggle to get one in the left, but I think they'll make it with a high mode.
Both teams in these strong conditions
5 seconds too late.
actually sailing with slight leeward heel. Cant really wide with a really low centre of effort on the sail plan. Small jib, so targeting potentially -2, -3 degrees leeward heel for best performance.
This version of the AC75 really powered up since Auckland. Lighter boat, less people. It's really impressive to see them sailing in these conditions so well.
So Ineos Britannia possibly not quite to lay line on this exchange. There'll be a speed build from there. So the Italians should be clear across and will probably look to take right turn at the top.
Yeah, he will lay.
3, 2, 1, mate.
Okay, he's with us.
Look at the speed that Luna Rossa is pumping out.
Long drive here, guys.
Just under 49 knots. My word.
Yeah, when you're doing nearly 50 knots, it doesn't take you long to do a leg.
A bit softer here.
Top speed in the bearaway, around 51 knots of boat speed for the Italians, and both teams now sailing a slightly lower mode to keep their boats well under their max cavitation speed. So their foils will be hitting that cavitation wall, and they'll be just converting that speed into depth. So they'll be sailing around 150 to 154 true wind angle, really sailing straight down the course in these big breeze conditions. Big day for the flight controllers today, as well as the trimmers. Both boats will be 2-board roundups here, trying to turn 7,000 kilos, a hairpin turn at 50 knots. Tough call.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli continues to lead in the opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. They whip that big monster around and head up for leg number 3 of 8. In comes the official challenger of record, Ineos Britannia.
Thank you. And forward down, tacking.
Straight into attack, the British team there. Oh, washing off a bit of speed there. Straight through the swell. That's a huge, huge slowdown for the British. You can see the difference in boat speed there. The Italians happy with the performance thus far of their fellow countrymen. And the British team on the back foot in these early stages.
Looks like the Italians have motored their boat closer to Ineos, and I think that is a tweak that they have done during the week in the shed.
Ineos Britannia were 180 metres behind at gate 1, and by the time they got to gate 3, there's 300.
Andrea Tessi and James Spithill controlling
I wouldn't push any more than that.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the moment.
Here on the bell. Nice set. Close. Hey, get it.
Oh, bit of a touchdown there.
Nothing's wrong.
Okay. Foiling.
Possible issue.
Coming down, boys.
We're going up on main here, slowly.
Aye.
Possible issue on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They had a big vent there.
General, not higher than this zombie, I think.
Flatter heel, Jimmy. Nice, that's good.
Big slides. Hey, stand by. How's the look?
So despite that moment by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they still hold a sizable lead against Ineos Britannia on this fourth leg of 8 in the opening race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Nice heel line.
Nice.
This is probably the most consistent that Mother Nature has been over the last 3 or 4 days with the weather. The Unicredit Youth America's Cup regatta has been blessed with magnificent weather in the last 48 hours.
So Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli knowing exactly where their opponents are on the racetrack and knowing whether they will be laying or not. So they're playing a game of water chess with their opponent, knowing that they will be too short to take that left turn, so they'll take the gate off them to control the race. One thing the TV does not show is how much those crew on board these boats are getting flicked around in the cockpits. Looks stable from where the pictures we're watching, but I can guarantee you you're getting ragdolled around those cockpits in these waves.
3, 2, 1, all clear.
This is Ineos Britannia. You can see the trimmers are at the back. They get a great view, actually. They can see the foil. Look at the sails. Sitting behind the cyclors.
Bled and Mon, top right of screen there, looking over the side, just controlling the foil through the water. Handing over to Lee McMillan. Dylan Fletcher now, tactician Ben Ainsley taking over on the starboard side of the yacht driving.
The drivers now have so many roles. Not just about steering the boat, you only do that half the time. Strategist, tactician, the whole thing.
They're obviously liking that left turn, the bottom, pretty even.
Both teams opting for a slightly more bow-up trim in these wavy conditions, so
No more trim, just be careful here.
trying to keep their foil flaps a little more raised at the back for cavitation purposes. So the more flap up you can be at the back, the better you are for cavitation.
Getting close.
And 2, 1, boards down.
You could see there the bottom of the bustle is in the tops of the waves.
So So having a look at the watts on board here. Big push, 2,000 watts there. In here the drivetrain spooling up, 700 watts from Cesar Garbia.
Last time the boats came round the top mark, I just got a bit of a glimpse of Luna Rossa's foil arm, and to me it looks different. And my conclusion is maybe the anvil or the fairing that sits on the arm before you go down into the wing, it just looks a little bit smaller to me, and there's calibration marks also on that foil. I think they have also done a mod. It'd be good to get Glenn's comment on that. I'm only going off a little screen here, but it does look different to me.
Just on board with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Having a look at Luna Rossa foil going through the water there, and that is absolutely ripping those wave caps to pieces.
Luna Rossa had a tough path through the semis to get to this.
Nice flat water here.
Gear damage and a proper battle with American Magic. They'll be thrilled it's going so well.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in the first race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final are on their way to the first win. The Silver Bullet is the first to hit the target, and they will bank the first win on the road to 7 to meet Emirates Team New Zealand in the match.
Flat spot to stand by jibe. Nice and smooth, boys.
Checo, massive congratulations. It's tough conditions out there. You had that little spill. Tell us what happened there. It looked a bit scary.
Shirley, first of all, I really love you because you are the only one that called me Keko, which is my nickname. So this one, it's a big one for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We had a little moment. Yeah, we are fighting a lot with the sliding times. And yeah, you just fly a little too high and you get those slides, and you lose control fairly quickly. But I think it's all about recovering quickly, and the boys did very well on doing that.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have claimed first blood, but one race doesn't make a regatta. We'll be back after the break with race number 2 of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Welcome back to the Louis Vuitton Cup final. The boats, finely tuned and meticulously prepared, are ripping around the course at speeds in excess of 40 knots. Race 1 went to the Italians. Can the Brits claw one back? Let's go to the start box. Ineos Britannia has port entry. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli is on starboard.
Go hard here. Clean push. Not clean much. Full speed, boys. High balanced.
Not much time to kill here. They need to get going.
Possibly both boats late here. Sea State possibly making it hard for the wind instruments to gauge whether they're on time or not. But
we have a green light and we are go in race 2 of the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Good mount, guys.
GBR was fractionally closer at 56 metres, so a lot further back than we're used to seeing them.
Good VMG to us.
Alrighty, and a little load on the back. Similar speeds, slightly lower. Can't get enough traveller up. Copy. Can't get any
big push there for the cyclors on that exit.
No, I can't get the heel in blooding.
Okay, he's going to take on the bomb.
Yeah, stand by.
Not rush.
Okay, board down here. Big wave. 2, 1, 3, mate. Turning. Right round. No problem. One more here. One more numbers.
So both boats executing their tacks. Little touchdown there to Luna Rossa. Both boats sailing clear air.
Just going out here.
Very even race.
Always +1.
Let's go to chase 0. Peter Lester.
Nice guys, normal numbers here. We just get speed first.
Yeah, real even start, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli able to live thin on the hip of Ineos all the way to the boundary. Now this will be as long as it gets in terms of testing, all the way probably across to the right-hand boundary. So this will be a good judge, this one, of who's got the pace. They look pretty even at the moment, and Ineos have just stretched out to 9-metre advantage. So they're supporting Ineos. You'd be happy to look at those numbers.
Very similar performance of him. They go forward down, we will go forward down. Forward down.
A slight advantage, as Peter mentioned, to the British team there. Both boats 40 knots of boat speed, 39, 40 knots, so charging into this swell.
We will match them on the tack. 35 to boundary. Currently we are crossing. Still pretty strong to windward, so I'm thinking we're going to go early kick up. I think any time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, forward down. Forward down. Moving.
Too late there for the British to hit, for me. They've managed to just get it off in time. Beautifully executed manoeuvre there by the British. Luna Rossa Prada probably having to get out of that wing wash, the dirty air off the back of the British team. So great job by Bleddenmont and Ben Ainsley there.
Going straight here. Pressure on the bow, no problem with him. Right turn, guys.
Ineos Britannia with a clean first leg, and they will take the advantage in the second race of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. They hit the top gate first. Coming in at pace, though, will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. How big will the advantage be? Oh, little touchdown by Ineos Britannia. There goes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Most boats, surely they're showing a fairly even downwind thus far, so nothing in this race at this point in time. Slight advantage to the British team to execute these manoeuvres very well.
So 2 legs of 8 about to be completed, and it's a role reversal from race 1. This time it's Ineos Britannia leading at the moment. 2 legs complete. Second upwind leg underway.
Nice clean rounding there by Ineos Britannia.
And then in comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with 7 seconds at the top, 17 at the bottom.
Cool. Can't call it. Stand by here. Come forward down. Pause down. 2, 1, lead. Landing. Very well.
So the British team tacking to put the Italian team in their dirty air. And Italians jamming the boat up into a high mode, so just keeping clear of that dirty air. In these upper range conditions, those flat sail plans not disturbing the airflow as much as in the lighter air conditions, so very clean sail plan, not affecting your opponent quite as much as in the lighter conditions. So the Italian team working hard to just stay high enough to keep out of any of that dirty air.
Luna Rossa appear to have that high mode. We've seen them use that quite a lot off the start line.
Look at the speeds they're entering that top gate at to complete the 3rd leg. Ineos Britannia, though, still leading in race 2. But right behind them now, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
50-knot bear away there by the British. Big push now for the Cyclaws to retrim the sails.
Come on!
In the back, dealing. Round up 27 now. Okay, your turn. Going clean.
Might sound like a broken record, but it's still Ineos Britannia leading as they complete leg number 6. They're 2 legs away from levelling up this cup.
Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim.
Yeah, but they'll be happy inside the Ineos base, and why would you be? In comes Luna Rossa. What's the delta? Bottom left of your screen. They're 15 seconds behind.
They're not disappearing, the Italian team of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. That was a really solid rounding there. The British, though, sailing into better pressure by the looks of things.
Following Ben. Little softer here, but pressure back. Maybe give it a little fan in case it goes right to the top. Copy. Happy to call it. Big bear away. It's going to be important. Dang. Let's go. Go. 2, 1, 4 down. 2, 1, pace. Panic. Right, Will. 2, 1, game board.
Luke Parkinson calling this is going to be a big bear away, so they'll be charging the accumulator, making sure they've got full oil reserves available for the trimmers. Most important bear away of the day.
Happy to just go right down here, there's not much gate bias.
Ineos Britannia approaching the top gate for the very last time on day 1 of the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Haven't put a foot wrong. They look good in race number 2.
Turning down in 3, 2, 1, all the way.
And around the mark they go and head home. And then in come Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They just can't catch up.
3, 2, 1, you're clear. I'm catching. That's right.
Both boats 50 knots, 51 and a bit for the British.
Yep, they're happy, and why wouldn't they be? But quiet down there. Maybe it's full of Luna Rossa supporters. Oh no, there is a smattering of British supporters. Peter Lester, impressive second race from Ineos.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice start and really good defence on that first upwind leg, and then they've capitalised on that. The other thing I think that stood out to me, Ineos in this race has just had a click faster downwind, making about 4 boat lengths each time they've gone on the downwind leg, and that's just given them that buffer that they've been able to extend. I think very even on the upwind leg between the 2 boats.
This is almost echoing Jimmy Spittle in the press conference yesterday, or the day before, yesterday, where he said, this will be incredibly even, full stop. That's all he said.
So the Italian team of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just throwing another jibe in. The British team probably only needing 1 more jibe to get to the finish, so just enticing possible mistake there from the British, but if the British pull this next jibe off, they will be in good shape.
20 this way, 20 to a jibe. Backing down now.
It has been a class performance from the official challenger of record, Ineos Britannia, beaten by 46 seconds in race number 1, have responded in kind. And at the end of day 1 in the Louis Vuitton Cup, we are locked up. Britannia get the win. It's 1-all.
Thanks, boys. And turning up. Got boys with 2 boards down here. Good effort, lads. Well done.
Yep, way to go. That's all happiness on the coach boat. I can match this like that in the supporters area as well as Luna Rossa finish. They'll all go away, and tomorrow they'll have a break and think, right, how do we get each other again?
Right, good effort, boys. Yeah, it was obviously a better start. It was a bit tricky for us that first one. We'll have to have a good look at that. But yeah, better off the line and managed to just get a good jump up the top of that first beat. To be fair to the Italians, they kept coming at us, kept it close. So good race, that one.
Talk about a fascinating first day dust-up. It's been 4 years since these two old foes last met in a Challenger Series final. After all the sleepless nights, sweat, toil, effort, practice, and more practice, they finished day one drawn. This has the makings for an epic battle. Tomorrow's a rest day, but we'll be back with more high-speed drama on Saturday as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Ineos Britannia continue to trade blows in the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Let the games begin.